So right, in this video, all we're going to be doing is putting an ornate fireplace in. So as you can see at the minute, it's got a plain wall. These two sockets, I think I'm going to do away with one and move one down, but we'll come back to that in a bit. I've got a fireplace that I'd taken out of another room in the house, and if you look back on our other videos, you can see I think that was taken out of the dining room. So the plan is, it's not going to get connected up or anything, it's going to be totally sort of ornamental. But it's going to go on this wall, and I want to get it on before we get the walls plastered, so it gets nicely plastered up around it. So this is what I've got. Basically it's going to go on the wall there flush. Should be a relatively straightforward task. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to centre it up and everything. I'm going to take the skirting board off. I'll then draw around the fire with a pencil, and then sort of I need to recess it. I'll measure it properly, but recess it about 10mm in the wall, and then that should make it look nice and flush. This is plasterboard, so it should be fairly straightforward. I just don't want to damage the plasterboard too much, so it should be a matter of gently chipping out a little bit round where it's going. So let's get the skirting board off. I'm going to decide now, there's a couple of options where to put the fireplace. We've obviously got the old fire hearth there on the floor, and that's if you were connecting up to the proper chimney. Like I said, this is going to be totally ornate, so it's not going to go into the chimney or anything like that. So we don't need to worry about the hearth. Now if I put it on the hearth, it's going to be offset. It's going to be closer to this wardrobe than that one. So I think I'm probably going to centre it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the distance, half it, put it on centred. We'll have a look at it, make sure we're happy with that, and we'll probably go with that. I think it'll be better than it being offset. Like I said, it's only sort of ornamental anyway, it's probably going to look more pleasing. Right edge. And that at the same edge is 31 exactly.
Oh,
do you want to have a look?
No, it must just be an optical illusion.
Do you want to look?
No.
Because once it's in, it's in.
Let me see.
So I'm measuring to that like line there, yeah. So 31.
Yeah.
And then that's the same line there.
Yeah.
Do you want to say out?
No.
I apologise. We've got a little audience watching me. Honey and Holly. Don't know how well this is going to show up on the video, but I've drawn around the very outside of the frame, since his pencil mark goes all the way around background. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that full section of plasterboard, which should then let me recess the fireplace into the wall a bit. So I'll go and get me pad saw and I'll do that. What I've actually done is, I said pad saw, but what I've actually done is used the multi-tool. I tried the pad saw, but it was taking me ages, so I used the multi-tool. At this stage I'm actually using just a wood bit that I have, just an old wood bit. Now I'll chuck it away when I'm finished. I've since actually got some that are designed for cutting plaster. I didn't know if you could get them at the time, but I got some off Amazon in the end. But with the multi-tool it just makes quick work of it. I got it from Screwfix, wasn't very expensive. It's ideal. I've used it loads since I've got it. I wish I'd got it earlier on in the build, but just for cutting out plasterboard, cutting wood. It'll also sand. I've not used it for sanding, but you can use it for sanding and all sorts. So they are a nice versatile tool, but they're ideal for like notching bits of wood. I've used it for notching bits of skirting board, round pipes and that. But anyway, you can see there, it's all nicely chopped out, got all the PPE on, and just having a bit of a clean up before we try fitting the fireplace in. Right, so don't worry, there's not too much speeded up footage in this, but you can see there I'm just cleaning round The cables at the top, obviously, if you have got cables, just be careful when you're multi-tooling them. You can see it then fits in nicely. So the next stage is to just trim it up a little bit, cut a bit of plasterboard to sort of go in the opening where the brick is, just to make that look nice. And then you'll see later on in the video we start fixing it in. So I'm just going to move the sockets down now. So I've got the power off, so I'll need to do this by hand. I've marked where it's going to go there. When the cable pattern comes down, then I know that, so I'm just going to carefully chip out to try and find it. So I've just plugged my multi-tool in the downstairs sockets because they're still on, just because there's a bit of a wooden noggin here. I'm just going to have to cut it out a little bit to get the back box in nice and flush. Right, so I've got the sockets in there, there's one there, I've put the one over there, power's still off at the minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fix the fireplace back just so it doesn't go anywhere, and then I'll second fix the sockets. So I've put a piece of plasterboard there, I've put some of the foam type plasterboard fixing on it, although what's going to happen is I'm going to screw the fireplace in these existing screw holes. There's sort of 4 in the middle, a couple at the top there, and I don't think it'll go anywhere anyway. And then we'll decide at a later date what we do with this. There'll be the half bit will go in here, put some sand and cement to get it up to the level, and then we'll either paint this board, possibly tile it, or I don't know, you could do outright wallpaper it, paint it, tile it, plaster it, whatever. We'll decide about that later. So now we're just going to get this fixed in. So quite big holes. I'm just going to use 6mm drill bit and go straight through them hopefully. We'll see how we go from there. So what I'm doing now is putting the skirting board on. The way I've done that is I've just took a piece of paper and I've put it up against the fireplace, sort of traced around the outline to get that outline. I've transferred it to a piece of skirting board, and then you can see there, getting a decent nice cut there. So I've just brought this up here now so I can give it a bit of a look at and go and trim it as sort of required. I think that needs any trim, maybe that tiny little bit out, so I'll do that. I'll cut it to length and then we'll put it in, and then just to get a nice clean finish I'll put a bit of wood filler along the edge if needs be, and once it's all painted up it'll look like it grew there. This skirting board's a bit I had from elsewhere in the house, it was already burnt off, so that's why I've put this bit on. And then the last thing to do after that, I'll be to cut this base into it. So I'll go and cut this, I'll screw it to the wall. I'm just using the self-tapping masonry screws to screw to the wall. So I'll cut it, get it screwed to the wall, and then I'll show you how I've integrated this into it. And then the only thing we'll have to do after that is probably tomorrow now, a bit of plastering just to sort of tidy it up. And then sort of down the line, a few months time when I come to decorate, I'll tile in the hearth and stuff, so that'll be a separate video again. We'll leave this one up probably once I get it plastered up, so I'll go get this cut for then. So there we are, I've got both the bits of skirting board fixed on, you can see. Quite pleased with them. So what the final stage of the sort of woodwork, cutting anyway, is to get this in. So what I need to do, first off, just get a measure to sort of get it centred, and then once it's centred I'm going to cut out that and cut out that side, probably using my multi-tool. So see there, I've got that measured at either end. All I'm going to do with a pencil. And then we'll fill this with sand and cement a little bit, and then we'll have some tiles across. So you can see there we've got the outlines. Hopefully I should be able to cut that with my multi-tool. I might need to put the new blade on because the blade I've been using on concrete. So I just saved this blade, and this is just for like plasterboard and stuff. It's not meant for that, so it's not going to be any good. But I've got a new one for the wood. Right, and there we are. It's nicely tapped in. So pleased with that. Like I say, tomorrow we'll get it plastered up. Just knocked up a bit of sand and cement there. I'm just using my trowel and my float. I've just levelled it off. It doesn't have to be perfect because there's going to get a layer of tile grout on top of it, and then it's going to get tiled. So I want it the same depth all the way around and fairly level, but like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm probably going to about leave it at that. And then, like I say, it'll get tiled sort of in a few months' time when we actually come to decorating here. So as far as this video goes, I'll probably be leaving it here. I'll get these sockets screwed back, and then that'll be it for now. Like I say, at a later date we'll give it a wire brush, a clean up, a paint, and some nice tiles on there, and decide what we're doing with this bit as well. You can see it's been fairly straightforward job really. I've been doing other stuff as well today, so probably took about a full day all in all, spread across sort of 2 days. Yeah, so it's obviously going to get skimmed round here. Once it's all skimmed, it should look nice, and a nice feature of the room, especially once it's tiled. So yeah. So thanks for watching. Please like the video. If you go on our YouTube channel, click on videos, all videos, you can see like the full list of them from in chronological order. So there's about 40 odd, maybe 50 odd videos on there now, so you can have a look back at loads of different tasks we do. I try to put one on a month, so I've got quite a few lined up. I just need to do a bit of editing. So yeah, so like I say, have a look, have a like, and have a look across at our Instagram, Renovation_Vane_cottage. Do tend to put more regular updates on there as well. So thanks again.